If you're at the beginning of a project, you are in the ideation phase. You are scanning and looking for ideas. You heard that I was going to talk about some of my favorite things. And no, that's not you guys. I'm not talking about you. We're talking about what we renovated at House Heidi. You are my favorite furry things. We're going to talk about design ideas. Sometimes you can't make a space bigger, but I believe you can always make a space better. And that often results from renovating and being willing to just shake it and change it and make it flow and feel and work differently. So what did I do? I changed the layout of this room. There were certain things I couldn't change. I couldn't change the placement of the stair, but what I did was I straightened out the hall. It used to be all jiggy and joggy, and it didn't have good flow, and it didn't have great sight lines. So what we prioritized doing was straightening it out and creating one long hallway that runs from front to back of the house. One of the coolest features, one of the things I love the most now, is when you come and stand outside of the house and you look through the window, you can see all the way out to the back of the house and you can see a gorgeous glowing fire pit. How awesome is that? If you've got some space to dedicate to a mudroom, you're already winning, because when you live here in Canada, we have 4 seasons, and that means there's lots of gear that needs to be gobbled up and stashed and stowed away. One of the big elements I wanted to prioritize was big closets. So when it comes to how to define your storage, there's lots of different ways you can do it. I have always been a fan of the big double closet. It allows you to just open up wide. You can have multiple hanging heights. You can have shelves, storage. You get to define it however you want. But a tip for you, installing closets with simple, available closet doors, just interior passage doors from a house, that is always going to be more cost effective than having custom built cabinetry. Cabinetry and millwork can really step up in price, so think about what you can achieve with standard, readily available building materials. That's always my go-to. Let's talk about this floor. This is a marble floor. It is honed, which means it's not slippery. It's large format 12 by 24 inch tiles. And what this means is that when they're set in place, they just create a beautiful contemporary look. Speaking of look, you really need to think about the layout. So in terms of this space, what I did was I stacked or I stepped the tiles. You can do a brick pattern, you can do a herringbone pattern, you can do a stacked pattern, but whatever pattern you choose, if you're looking, feel free to just search this on your computer. Search it up, as my kids would say, and you will see a huge array of different patterns. Here's why I like the stepped pattern. You come in the front door and then the hallway is over here and the stairs are here. And the most beautiful thing about a stepped pattern is you get a centered tile in all sorts of different places. If you have a layout that jogs at all, a step pattern may help you get the best end result. I always want to see, here's a tip for you, I always want to see a tile centered right in front of the door. I never want that seam in the middle. I always want a full tile centered in the door, and I want to have as many full tiles as possible. And this pattern delivered that end result. What I like about this tile, also, when you're thinking about installing tile, and especially when you're thinking...
Dog in the background.
It's okay, don't care. When you're investing in installing tile or natural stone, you want to make sure you get that choice right. So here's a reason why I think this marble that I chose is a total winner. Why? Because look at this. It blends a warm and cool neutral palette. I'm always going to be a fan of neutrals, but as you know, the trend pendulum swings. Sometimes people are favoring the cool neutrals and the grays, and sometimes that pendulum swings back to favor the warm neutrals, the flax, the linen, the more beigey tones. Look at this. It blends them both together, so no matter where the trend pendulum swings, we're nailing it. Now, let's talk about other details. Let's talk about color. When you think about a mudroom, it's called a mudroom for a reason. This is the first line of defense where people come in from outside to inside, and that means mud, dirt, water all gets tracked in. So let's talk about trim colors and paint colors. Should you be keeping it light, bright, airy, and white? Listen, totally up to you. But here's what I was thinking. If we go for a darker tone, something in a smoky, dark gray with a little bit of blue, Isn't that going to be more durable? It's cool, it's contemporary, it looks fabulous, it defines the space, and it's hard wearing. It's not going to look dusty or dirty, it's not going to show the chips and bangs, and I think it is what helps us achieve the contemporary look we were going for. One of my all-time favorite things when it comes to any design project is experimenting with new ideas, new materials, and new ideas. So here's a fresh new idea I've never tried before, but am I going to do it again? Yes, you bet I'm going to. That's how you know that the idea really worked. Here's what I did. Because you know I love to be practical, I wanted to think about what I could clad the walls with that would be durable and hard wearing. Because this is a ski chalet. People are going to come into this room with their skis, their ski boots, their snowboards, their gear, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to bump into my walls. So I decided to use engineered, pre-finished European white oak flooring and install it as wall paneling. If I hadn't told you it was flooring, would you think it was flooring? I don't think you would. Here's what's amazing about it. It comes in huge wide boards. Now, this flooring is from the Beaux-Arts Realism collection from Fusion Flooring, a personal favorite of mine, and it comes in 10.25-inch wide boards. So look at how contemporary this looks. I've decided to install it sideways. I've installed it horizontally and stacked it. I've wrapped it with a sharp mitered corner to wrap right around the closets. Forget about drywall. Use flooring. Here's what's great about getting flooring and installing it. There's no finishing. It comes pre-finished. You already know you love the color, you love the effect, and it's ready to go. Voila! This is a smart idea. What's really fun is taking an existing material that you normally use in a specific way and turning it on its head and doing something totally different. Let's talk about quartz. So I have used Caesarstone quartz for countertops, lots of different spaces, lots of different colors, lots of different treatments. You name it, I've used it. But here's what I'd never done before. I'd never put it on stair treads. When I was thinking about this staircase, one of the biggest things we did to change this stair was take it from being a space that was enclosed and we opened it up. So we installed a glass stair enclosure. That's what I like. I like the contemporary materials. I like the lightness of glass. But then I was thinking, this stair is going to get a lot of use. How do I make sure in a rental house it's going to be durable? And how do I make sure that the floors don't get all chipped and scratched? Well, I came up with this idea. What if I took Caesarstone countertop material and had it cut to make it into stair treads? Do you love this idea? I hope you love this idea because I super duper adore this idea and I'm psyched with how it turned out. We wrapped our Fusion European white oak flooring that we use throughout the rest of the house to be the risers, and then we had these Caesarstone pieces cut to be the treads, and they look sharp. Here's the fun part about it. Think about all the different colors you can use. You can use anything in the spectrum of available quartz. My recommendation to you is choose one of the matte or textured choices. So I used Cloudburst concrete, and the great thing about it is it has a little bit of a swirly pattern in it. Very, very neutral, very light, but it also has almost a pebbled surface. So you can feel it in your sock feet or your bare feet. It feels nice underfoot. Key thing here is it's not slippy. So I want you to make sure you think about choosing a non-slippy texture if you're going to try this. But definitely try it. Steal this idea, run with it. Let me know how it turns out. Let's move on to details. Coming up from those stair treads, we have vinyl wall covering. You know I am a wallpaper fan. What's amazing is there are lots of wall coverings that are made using 3D inks, so they actually have a textured surface. You probably also know that I'm a massive fan of grass cloth, and that is a natural paper that actually has pieces of real grass woven through it. Is this practical? No. So you know what I did? I found a vinyl wall covering that has the texture of grass cloth, and it actually has texture. And then it has a printed pattern on top of it, almost like a watercolor. So it's a multi-layered treatment. It has this beautiful palette of colors, grays and neutrals and kind of smoky blues. It's got texture, it's got pattern, and the best part of all, it's got durability. Who uses vinyl wall coverings the most? Hotel hallways. Think about a hotel hallway. It almost always is coated with vinyl wall covering because it is wipeable, super durable, easy to install, looks amazing, does the trick. Bam! Love my vinyl wall covering. Other favorite things? When you've got a long hallway and it doesn't get a lot of natural light, think about lighting because light fixtures are your friend. This is what can help you achieve great decorative design effect. So instead of using pot lights, I decided I wanted something more fun, something that had more personality. But in thinking about what would be the right fixture and thinking about somebody might walk in here with skis, bam, broken fixture, I decided to go for these fun little industrial style lights. What I like about them is they're a riff on the classic construction light that hangs in any construction site. And when you've been renovating for as long as we've been renovating, anything that feels like a fun, whimsical riff and a nod to the journey you've taken is always a good idea. These have a two-tone finish. They have brushed brass combined with sort of a natural steel. And the best part of all is the cage prevents the light bulb from getting broken. Plus, when you put a clear LED bulb inside this fixture, it casts this great light pattern on the ceiling. And that is something I'm always looking for. I want light that feels warm and glowy and fabulous. Little accessories, finishing touches, when you're thinking about a mudroom, how about instead of a console, how about installing a shelf? What's really great about this little shelf is there are no legs going down to the ground. So if you think about when it's time to vacuum, you can just sail with that vacuum up and down the hall, and this little shelf is sitting free and clear. I wanted it to be a little shelf. I don't want it to be something that gets all junked up, but you know, right inside your front door, in that front entryway, you probably need a place to set down your keys. So it's not, where are my keys? Anybody seen my keys? A place to set down your phone when you're putting on or taking off your boots. And this little shelf does just that. When it comes to the finishing touches, I want you to challenge yourself, to look out there and see what you can find, see what you can bring home that helps you make your home a unique and distinctly fabulous expression of you. Here's a couple fun things I did. I bought some dowels that you would use as closet rod, let's say. They're just, you're cute. I'm really trying to work here. I created this multifunctional peg wall, and the idea here was to make a place that skis could stack and not fall over, but also something that would act as super simple peg hooks. How did we do this? We bought some dowel from the hardware store. Really inexpensive. We cut it into 6-inch pieces. We put a bit of stain on it to tie it into the color palette that we were using throughout the space. And then we got a double-threaded screw that allows us to put part of it into the dowel and the other part goes into the wall. Is this easy? Yes. Does it look great? Yes. Do you want to make it yourself? No? If you don't want to make it yourself, you can find peg hooks like this on Etsy. No problem. There's lots of people selling them. But if you're going to make a whole bunch of them like we were, maybe you want to do it yourself. Speaking of do it yourself and fun different things, how about making a bench? This is made out of chevron countertop material and it just has a super simple mitered edge detail. I always think adding a bench to a front entry or a mudroom is a fabulous idea because you need that spot to sit down, to perch, to put your shoes on, to put your boots on, and a place that you can also tuck them underneath. What's great about making your own benches, you can make it as big or as small as you want. And lastly, above this bench, how fun are these hooks? What I like about these hooks is they all have sort of organic shapes. I found these on Etsy and they come in a set of 3 different shapes, which I thought was super fun. And if there's nothing hanging on them, they look fabulous. But thanks to their size, you can also hang lots on them. So when it comes to a mudroom, I want you to think about what's practical, what's durable, what's hard wearing, but more important, what's a good idea? If you were to renovate your mudroom, what would you tell me are your favorite things? Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you want below. Don't forget to hit that bell to subscribe so you'll always get notifications and you'll never miss our next video.